So I want to explain something to you because I feel like it's helpful, and you can go ahead and ignore it, but you should really pay attention to it because it'll help your life too if you understand it. It might help you understand who you are, who your partner is. It might resolve a lot of conflicts in your life personally. But I feel I need to explain these things so that you better understand as you're observing me what's going on. These are terms that I learned at HMI and Tarzana, taking their free classes. And it's about, I brought up the term somnambulist, and it was specific to what George Kappas came up with. A brilliant way to break down people. They'll all be, the terms I always invert them because they confuse me. But there are different divisions of people. You can take nearly half the population, divide it into an emotional or a physical. In the center of that is a somnambulist, not to be confused with someone who walks in their sleep. Okay. An emotional is someone who values goals, aspirations, work before relationships. They are not as present in their body. A physical is someone who is physical. They're in their body. They tend to take care of their body more, and they value relationships over aspirations, goals, whatever. Okay. And it's not a value judgment. It's just about 50% of the population is either one of these things. Okay, and there's different degrees of extremes. Whatever your father is, you will be. However, this can change if your father was not present when you were a kid. Okay. Like, let's say your mother raised you or something, then you might take on whatever she is as traits. But by nature, regardless of gender, regardless of anything else, no matter how many kids your father has, you will be, and your siblings will be what your father is. So you see workaholism in me, you see it in Dylan, you see it in Drew. Teresa is more on the physical spectrum, but that makes sense because her father was traveling all the time. She didn't have much of his influence, and so she had way more of my mom's influence even than I did in proportion of how is she getting connected. She also grew up with my mom. Okay, and my mom is an extreme physical. She's above 70%. She's an extreme physical, which means she's extremely in her body. She's always taking care of her nails, her hair, her skin, her, always eating, just very, very in her body. And that's why she does healing. It makes sense. And you see, and Bill denied or whatever, but my father is on the other side. He does it, he's more reclusive, he's doing solo activities, etc., etc. So you have to look at different factors of who raised me and how was I born to be. I was born to be an extreme emotional, because that's what my father is. Now, when you look at couples that last for a significant period of time, like my parents lasted for X amount of years, almost every time they are on the equal and opposite spectrum of extremes. So if they're slightly emotional, then they'll find someone who's slightly a physical. Or if they're extreme emotional, then they'll find someone that's an extreme physical. And the only middle card is the somnambulist, okay? And that is someone who can kind of take on both aspects. Okay, so because my father was there when I was growing up, but as a weekend dad, so I did still have his influence, so he wasn't completely absent. Also, the quality of time was better on the weekends because I'm not at school, because I'm not avoiding my father, because, for various factors, he's not running around, he's not out of the house, etc., doing his own thing. Yet the time we spent was more quality one-on-one. So I learned to be more like him, and then I lived with him as well. So when you're analyzing and going, oh my God, I can't believe it's 11 o'clock and she's just now eating. That's not anorexia, that's not drugs, it could be a few things. One, I could have no money. Like right now, I have like €1. Not very helpful. It could be I need to charge my phone. And there's so many times where I'm like, ugh, and I have to sit there and wait for another phone. Maybe this one doesn't have enough to go to a store, but it has enough for me to check my mail. So you're like, but she has battery because she's on the phone. I could just be checking my mail because I know that I have enough to that, but recording drains. So I might not have enough to go to the store, and so I have to wait for the other one to charge. That happens all the time. Okay, so there are different factors, money and this, okay? But on top of that, as you're watching me plug away, working, she's got her head down, she's not doing anything, she's not getting up and stretching, and keep in mind I'm an emotional. And there's nothing wrong with it. So you keep berating me as I have to be a physical in order to be correct. I have to value relationships with others over my goals. No, I don't. Especially in this. No, I don't. And it wouldn't be in my value system anyway. And you go, that's antisocial. No, it's not. It's just, it doesn't mean you're not social. It just means you value certain things more. So you see workaholism throughout my life. You see going for goals, aspirations. And that does involve other people. But these goals are first. So even though I am a love addict, this is also true. And so as you're analyzing things, you need to keep this in mind. And I'll give you a very helpful tape below of exactly what I'm talking about.